I assumed that they felt as proud of America as I did, as I thought that they should. And that's how naive I was as a teacher, I should say. But as I got into it, I began to realize just how deep-seated this reluctance, reticence, maybe even fear to talk about it. And the very last class that I taught, I was really evangelical about the patriotism at that point. I asked them I asked the students. There was about 40 students in this class. It was an evening class, and I asked them what their impression of patriotism was. What is a patriot? What does patriotism mean? And we've been studying the rise and fall of nations. I taught that class dozens of times, and so I was very aware of this in my mind. The issue of what is a nation, how is it made, how do you keep it, what is its purpose, how do you maintain it, and all of this. So I asked them what patriotism was, and they would not answer. It was just silence, and that never happens to me in class. I'm always very engaging with my students, and nobody would answer, not even the girls. And the girls usually answer first in a situation like that. You throw out a question to the class, and the women, they're ready to talk. Nothing from anybody. And I finally just kept pressing it. I would not leave it. And finally, about a 20-year-old male, he just sort of assumed command, and he said, "Dr. Yeagley, we don't have a clue." Yeah. And of course, I did not believe that. I said, "Well, I know you know what the word means." And he just kind of looked at me, and I said, "Well, just tell me what comes to your mind when that word is spoken to you. What kinds of images? I know you've just an impression. Just what does the word conjure up?" And he said, "Well, old people, veterans." And then one of the girls jumped in. She said, "Well, militia, skinheads, the social marginals." And I'm thinking, okay, this is where we are. This is what's going on. You can't get patriotic, or you are out of the mainstream. You are a fringe. Group of some kind. Patriotism is synonymous with racism, bigotry, nativism, sexism, all the bad isms. White guilt. I know that David Horowitz had me do a lot of statistical research here. Something like 65 to 70% of the faculty of all the Oklahoma universities, the major ones, when it comes to social issues, are all Democrat and all liberal. So there has been a certain predominant teaching through education, through government, state education that has promoted this idea that, America needs to have second thoughts about itself now, need to reflect on your great accomplishments, and maybe they're not so great. Maybe there was a lot of foul play involved in those accomplishments, and maybe now you just need to hand back all these things that you've robbed from all the darkies of the world. And see, I don't know. As an Indian, I find this insufferable, because now you're going to hand away what you took from me. You're going to hand it out to other people that I didn't even have a chance to fight. We fought over this, and the whites won. They outnumbered us, they outgunned us, and all that. Well, that's the way war happens. But now for America to act like it owes the rest of the world everything that it has achieved, and essentially by taking what it would from the Indians, this insults me. This insults Indian people. Look, the Chinese could never have defeated us. The Arabs could never have defeated American Indian people. None of these groups that America wants to give everything away to could have fought and won against Indians. And so I just find it impossible to watch America just sort of sheepishly hand over everything that it's accomplished to the third world, and hear the Indian just standing and watching without even getting to fight. I mean, look, I consider this whole Arab Muslim thing, this is colonization. Mm-hmm. This Sharia law every place. Look, I've been colonized before. I'm not going to stand for this again. Well, you know, not against the people that would never have been able to defeat American Indians. This business of white guilt. I want to refine that just a little bit, Richard. You see, I'm thinking that what we're talking about here is something that many white scholars, or I should say white, I'm not going to call them white supremacists, just white racialists, actually believe that what distinguishes the white race, particularly the Western European white race, from all other races is a conscience. Mm-hmm. And although the white race has behaved like as wild and woolly as any warrior that ever roamed the earth, he has this plaguing self-reflection. I think that's basically due to hundreds and hundreds of years of the Judeo-Christian religion. I think it's in his genes now, because other races don't have that. You kill, you come, you see, you conquer. You don't have second thoughts about it. It must never be forgotten that, you know, a very, very great, and I believe the greatest nation that ever evolved. Yes, law and equality and all of these things were part of the philosophy. But I got to tell you, you're talking about equality between an Englishman and an Irishman, or a high-class Englishman and a low-class Englishman. You're not talking about equality between whites and Indians, whites and blacks, and whites and Orientals. You know, that's not what was on the minds of the fathers that wrote the Constitution of the United States. It was simply not on their mind. Now, this is an application of it. This is what they have worked to make this application that it includes all people, and therefore America cannot have boundaries, cannot have borders, and everybody that's born anywhere in the world has a right to a Cadillac, a two-car garage, and a college education just by being born on the earth. Yeah. It's another thing I can't stand about this overextension, this aggressive warlike application of equality, and which, as you said in your reference to Nietzsche, and I've said that many times too, that there's nothing more pitiful than a warrior without an enemy. Yeah. Because you fight, you only destroy yourself then, and that's clearly, psychologically, that's what America is doing. Clearly.